Hi everyone, this is Montana Rock Mom and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am so happy to be a part of Katydid Rock's 2023 showcase called A Heart for Rocks. So we're going to talk a little bit about why I love rock hounding so much. And it's not really an easy story to talk about, but I will share it with you. I've always loved rocks. I've always loved geology. I've always loved fossil collecting growing up as a kid with my family. But it wasn't until a couple years ago when I lost my twin brother that going out in the wilderness took on a whole new meaning. And I don't know if any of you have had or suffered a loss before, or something very tragic has happened to you. Sometimes when you go outside into the wilderness, you see things differently. The world around you just looks different. And I started picking up rocks and just noticing these really fine details that just made them so beautiful to me. I couldn't get enough of it, and I just kept going out and kept going out, and it was like this whole new world was around me, and it eased what I was going through and what I continue to go through. It brings me the most peace that I've ever found. So I so much appreciate all of you who have come along with me for this ride and can feel the passion that I feel when I collect these beautiful specimens. They really mean a lot to me, and I hope you can feel that too. And I hope if you walk, or I don't know what else to say. I'm not scripting this, but I just want to thank you for your support, and anyone else that's out there. And if you are really looking to find some peace in the wilderness or in your life or a hobby, rock hounding is really such a special thing to do. That means so much more than just going outside and picking up a rock. So please come along and follow some of our adventures and look at some of the cool things you can do with these rocks. I am going to put together a piece for Katydid's Heart of Rocks wreath that she's making, and it's hopefully gonna turn out and be pretty cool, but you can be the judge of that. So let's see what I'm gonna make. Come along. So this is a big chunk of shale, and it has the remnants of an ammonite shell with some ammolite on there. Ammolite is gemstone, just like organic gemstone, just like pearl or amber. So I'm gonna feed this to Drogon and see if we could make it a little bit thinner so I can get like a cab out of this, or an ornament to hang on the wreath. Okay, I'm putting it on this way with the ammolite facing there because it's so fragile that when this cuts and falls off, it's probably gonna crack the ammolite. So we'll see if this will hold on to it, and I just want a little piece off there, so let's cross our fingers. All right, success. We have this large chunk off of it so it's easier to work with. And if I screw up, it looks like this side underneath this outer shell on this side is a nice layer of red ammolite on there. But let's get this guy off. Okay, so the pieces I want, it did break in half, but that is just perfect. So it's now even smaller and nicer for me to work with here. So I'm going to put some stabilizer on here to keep the shell from breaking further and coming off, and then I will let it dry for a good 24 hours or so before I go any further with it. Okay, I've got it nice and stabilized again, so I'm gonna cut it and make it a little bit thinner so it's easier to work with to make an ornament out of. Okay, just gonna get a pinch more off. Now I'm gonna use my trim saw to do a little bit of trimming around this, around the ammolite, so that I can make my ornament shape a little bit easier to do when I'm sanding it. I'm trying to do this pretty delicately so I don't crack the ammolite shell. That's why we try to stabilize it before we cut and sand it, because that shell is very delicate and very old. I'm just letting this piece kind of tell me where it wants to be cut. Now we're going to take my Dremel with a sanding attachment on it and smooth out all these rough edges around the ornament. Whatever attachment kind of carves that area down the best for you. And then I'm going to smooth it even further here on my flat lap sanding wheel. Got to be careful not to hit that ammolite on the top and chip it off. I remember seeing it. Hey, what do you think about this? It's an ornament.
It's cool.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
What do you think of the color?
Good color. Same color as my Crocs.
You're so sweet. So I've got the right shape that I want for this ornament. So now I'm just hand sanding this and cleaning it up a bit, starting at 240. And I'll work my way up to really bring out that shine. Starting to see those colors come out, depending on which way the light hits it. Okay, so I've done a bunch of wet sanding with this, and now I'm going to polish it with some diamond paste, as you can see here. I start with the 6000 since I wet sanded to 2000, and using this felt tip on there, and we're just trying to get it polished up before we put the resin stability coat on. Okay, so I just did 6000. I need to clean the rest of the paste off. I have a little chip at the bottom. You can see my diamond paste filled in, but I mean, this is over 70 million year old Cretaceous age seashell, so that is expected. Nothing that my resin won't fill in. I mean, am I scared to death that I'm polishing this and my shell is gonna crack in half and fall off? Absolutely. Absolutely. Now I'm on a 12,000 grit and continuing and changing my little felt wheel with every step. So I don't really like my hole right there, but the worst I could do, the worst thing would be to try to fix it at this step. And I'm just going to fill it with resin. So I just have to finish the polishing. I'm going to do 40,000 and 80,000. And then we'll do some resin before we wrap. That's going to be a great ornament. It's coming along. Okay, so now I'm going to apply the resin. Some jewelry resin on here. It looks yellow, but it'll dry clear. Okay, I've got the resin on here. You can see that. And I'm letting it set before I fill in that hole. I'm going to do that in a minute. We need to build a case around this to keep it safe and snug while it's hanging. So I'm going to take some wire and build a little shelter around it. I am not very good. I don't do a whole lot of wire wrapping. I save that for all you lapidary artists, professionals out there that do such a wonderful job. I'm doing the best I can with this because I don't want it to fall and put all that hard work with that ammolite cracking. So let's build it a home. Since this is a fairly large ornament, I found it really helpful to put it in this soft vise so it wouldn't scratch the front of it, but it would help me kind of serve as an extra pair of hands while I built this case. And then once I felt like it had a rough shape to it, I took it off so I could add some additional wire and give it a little bit of a artsy spin to it without it taking too much away from the front of the ammolite, the front design. for this video. I hope you guys have all enjoyed what I made and enjoyed coming along for all the 2023 Showcase Heart of Rocks fantastic channels. And thank you again, Katydid Rocks, for inviting me to be a part of this. We'll see you all soon in some future rock hounding videos. Remember, rock on.